In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 key areas where industry-leading companies continually focus in order to maintain their status as market or industry leaders. Now, if you're like me, you like to study the greats and you look at your industry and you look at the companies that are at the top, whether that's nationally, internationally, or locally, and you try to figure out what are those guys doing that I'm not? What do they know that I'm not? What areas are they focusing on? What events are they going to? What types of people are they hiring? What kind of marketing are they doing? What kind of sales training are they getting? And we try to look at these things that these high-performing, industry-leading companies are doing, and we try to emulate them. Well, that can be really, really good. And that can also be challenging because we're on the outside looking in and we're never able to kind of see the full picture. Well, this week I went down to National Harbor, Maryland to the annual ECA National Conference. ECA stands for Exterior Contractor Alliance. And I got to rub shoulders with some of the largest and most established roofing and exterior contracting companies in the entire nation. These were several hundred of the top companies in the industry. And we got to focus on business building activities and lectures and breakouts and conversations and meetings throughout the 2 days that we were there. And so as I was synthesizing my notes here, I was looking for patterns. I'm always looking for patterns. I'm having conversations, going to breakout sessions, looking at what are the top companies doing. And I identified 3 things that we focused on this week in those meetings that these companies seem to be doing extremely intentionally and extremely consistently. Now, of course, this is not a comprehensive list. There are so many different aspects of business, and I'm not saying these are the top 3. I'm saying these are 3 of the key things that I've seen, not just from this week's conference, but from our decade of consulting with hundreds and hundreds of different roofing and contracting companies of all shapes and sizes. So the first thing that these companies focus on is organizational health. Organizational health was actually one of the themes of the conference that we went to this week. And organizational health is a giant topic, but in its essence, what we're talking about is having a vision for what the company is and where they are going. Once they have that vision, getting clear on the core values by which they hire, fire, reward, and recognize, core values that are non-negotiable. Then continuing on that organizational health track, they have systems for attracting, hiring, training, onboarding new team members consistently, not just once in a while, not just throwing up a random Facebook post and looking for someone to join their sales team. They have a systematic way for acquiring talent to join their company. They also have organizational charts or an accountability chart for those of us like me who use EOS. So they can clearly see the different seats in the organization and make sure that the right people are sitting in the right seats. And if they're not, they have a system for adjusting and moving people around or even coaching people out of the organization. They have intentional management, intentional leadership, intentional proactive culture building and team building. They have upward growth potential for their team members, not just financially, but in terms of responsibility, management, job roles, different divisions, and things like that. They also focus on providing flexibility to their team members. So that might mean flexibility in terms of their schedule, sometimes in terms of location, flexibility in terms of what they can earn and different things that they can work on. Today's workforce likes to have that sense of flexibility at some level inside their role. We also talked about having annual meetings and quarterly meetings, whether you follow EOS or another system, making sure that you have a meeting cadence so that you're continually communicating with people in your organization. The second thing that I distilled that these companies all focus on is financial intelligence. Now, financial intelligence is something that we all know that we should be better at, that we can be better at. But if you're like me, I ignored that for so many years. To be frank, our business was not as financially healthy as it should have been, as I wanted it to be. I just hope that, working hard all year and try not to spend so much money, we'd end up with some money at the end of the year. Well, guess what? Hope is not a strategy. Financial intelligence is understanding how the basic financials of the business work, the statement of profit and loss, the balance sheet, statement of cash flows, and making sure that you're working with someone either inside your organization and or outside your organization, like a fractional CFO, bookkeeper, accountant, not only do that work with you and for you, but to help educate you on a regular basis. So you've probably all heard a variation of the saying that revenue is for vanity and profit is for sanity. And that's absolutely true. A lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of newer entrepreneurs chase that revenue number, and I'm guilty of that too. We chase that revenue, but we're not paying attention to the profit. So by having some financial intelligence, by having a financial team inside your company or outside, just a circle of trust, you're able to manipulate the numbers, make sure that you're making a profit, make sure that everyone wins so that you have enough money to reinvest back into building a business, into creating that organizational health that you need to continue to thrive. So different companies have different structures for this. So the structure that we have here at Contractor Dynamics is that we have a fractional CFO that works with us with our bookkeeping, our monthly statements, our year-end, our planning, our budgeting, our strategizing, and things like that. And myself, our integrator, and a fractional CFO meet every Tuesday. We go over things, we uncover roadblocks, we get questions answered, and he helps to educate us on the financials and things like that. So every week, in theory anyway, I get smarter and smarter about the financial intelligence of our business, which helps everyone win. The third thing that I want to highlight here that was a big part of this conference this week, is a big part of what we see happening in our industry, is AI, artificial intelligence. So AI, and I'm also going to put /systems, because AI is really a system for streamlining processes. AI is not a magic robot. AI is not punching a few buttons and creating a whole bunch of content or images or anything like that. AI is a tool that we can use to create a ton more operational efficiency inside our businesses. I sat in a couple of breakout sessions. My mind was blown. I left that first breakout session. I said to Corey, our video guy, I'm like, man, I want to go out and hire a full-time AI person inside our company to do all of these things that we just learned. And within the next 6 months, I believe that we will hire that person. So you can use AI to create processes. You can use AI for brand exercises, to find your ideal client profiles, to develop a brand strategy. You can use AI to help out with your sales processes. You can use AI to create like a review generation process, AI to create marketing content, ideation. I used it today to actually figure out the job description for a new position that we're hiring for, and also to guide me on how to structure that salary, whether it's a base, whether it's performance, whether it's a combination of those things. AI can be used for so many different things. It's much, much more than just typing a few things into ChatGPT and getting some responses. There's all of these different tools, and the killer app actually with AI is not the actual tool itself, but it's how we know how to prompt the AI. So I actually just bought a course today that is I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to become better at actually giving AI better prompts, because it's all about what you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out. We've all heard that saying, right? You want to feed it good, intelligent things, we're gonna get more on the back end. So I'm just kind of dipping my toe into AI. Honestly, we're getting more into it every single week, but that is something that the big companies, the established companies are investing in, and they're gonna continue to become more profitable, more efficient, and more dominant, because they understand how to leverage the systems that AI provides. So man, I could go on and on and on, but those are 3 things that I identified from the ECA Exterior Contractor Alliance Conference this week in Maryland. Number 1 being organizational health, number 2 being financial intelligence, and number 3 being AI and the surrounding systems. So again, back to the beginning, as we're kind of looking to where we're going, we're looking at some of the industry leaders, the market leaders. What are they doing? How can I kind of emulate them? How can I learn from them? Hey, maybe I can pick up the phone and call them and get some coaching or get some guidance or mentorship from them. That can be a great idea as well. These are 3 things that I've identified that we're working on as a company. We're going to share with our clients and our Arena Mastermind as well. And I want to share these things with everyone, because this Nailed It podcast, this Nailed It show is all about the business of construction. So as we wrap up, I hope that you guys found this information valuable. Maybe you're taking some action. Maybe you're figuring out some gaps that you have inside your business. Maybe you need to go out and hire a consultant or hire an employee or go get some coaching or something like that. Speaking of coaching, these are things that we cover inside our Arena Mastermind group. Our Arena Mastermind is a group of like-minded, growth-minded contracting company owners. We come together every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern. We meet on Zoom. We discuss issues like this. We discuss best practices. We bounce ideas off of one another. We help get our problems solved and our issues solved by one another. It's a really good collaborative community of contracting company owners that have that built-in trust because we're meeting week in and week out and getting to know one another, and we're working through these things together. That is our Arena Mastermind. If you want to learn any more about that, click on the link below or head on over to arenamastermind.co, not .com, to learn a little bit more about that, what that looks like, and to potentially get involved. Either way, again, hope this content was valuable for you. Go out, implement 1, 2, or 3 things from this video, from this podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.